By far the easiest way to answer this one is in your calculator. Just take these numbers and plug them in for x, right? -3 raised to the -4th power. Make sure you're using parentheses right, and you get -1/81, and so your answer has to be A. That is so fast just to do it on your calculator. Don't even worry about the procedures. Just do it on your calculator. This equation gives resistance and power and current, which gives I in terms of P and R. So all we're doing is isolating I, just algebraically. So Y equals P over I squared. We're going to multiply both sides times I squared. So now we have R I squared equals P. I'm going to divide both sides by R. I get I squared equals P over R. And now I'm going to take the square root of all of this, right, to get rid of my square. So I get I equals the square root of P divided by R. And so that's going to be choice G. One welcome sign flashes every 8 seconds. The other welcome sign flashes every 12 seconds. They flash at the same time. How many seconds elapse till they flash again? So they flash at the same time at some point, and then 8 seconds later, so we're going to put every 8 seconds and every 12 seconds. So that's a terrible 12. Let's try that again. 12 seconds. Okay. So this one is going to flash at 8 seconds, then it's going to flash again at 16 seconds, then 24 seconds, and then 32 seconds. And the 12-second sign is going to flash at 12, and then 24, and now we already have our match. So they flash together again at 24 seconds. So your answer is D. The area of a square is 900 square inches. So 900. What is the perimeter? Well, to get the area of a square, we multiply side times side, or the area equals side squared. So to get what each side was, we just take the square root of that. So we have 900, square root of 900 equals 30. So now we know each side is 30. So our perimeter is going to be 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30, or 30 times 4 sides. That equals 120. Choice H. This question gives you the formula you're going to need to answer the question. You just got to fill in all the information. So the Department of Natural Resources is estimating the deer population in Twin Pines County. Several months ago, DNR rangers captured, tagged, and released 108 deer. So that's going to be 108 in tagged deer capture. Recently, DNR rangers captured 54 deer in the county. So they captured 54 deer in capture 2, 54, and found that 36 of them had been tagged earlier. So tagged deer in capture 2 is 36. The DNR estimates the population using the proportion below. What is the estimate of deer populations? We want to know what is this. So let's cross multiply. 36x equals 108 times 54, 5,832. Divide both sides by 36, and you get 162, or choice D. The arithmetic sequence, the 10th term is 30, and the common difference is 2. What is the first term? Let's go through two different ways to solve this one. If you know the formula for arithmetic sequence, you can plug into this. So we have the 10th term, which is going to be 30, right? That's what we're going to plug in here, equals, we don't know what the first term is. So this A is the first term. So that's what we'll leave that A, plus the 10th term, 10 minus 1. And we know the difference is 2. So now we could know that 30 equals A plus 10 minus 1 is 9 times 2, 18. And we're going to subtract 18 from both sides. We get A equals 12, and our answer is J. Now let's say you don't know this formula, which you usually don't need to know it on the ACT. Let's go about a different way to do it. So an arithmetic sequence just means that you're adding. We know there's 10 terms, so let's write in 10 terms. And we know the 10th term is 30. So we're going to put 30 in right here. We know the common difference is 2. Right, so that just means it's a difference between each term of 2. So if we're going backwards, we're subtracting 2 every time. So 28, 26, 24, 22, 20, 18, 16, 14, 12. And we get the same answer. You do it whichever way works best for you. If you know the formula and you're comfortable with it, great, do the formula. If not, count. ACT generally never gives you terms that are too big that you can't count. The only thing you really have to understand here is that an arithmetic sequence means you add. And it sounds like arithmetic, right? So adding. So that's the main key that you need here. Pedometer records the number of steps a person takes as he or she walks. A pedometer records 3,898 steps by a person who covers the distance of 2.25 per step. How much distance to the nearest 0.1 mile did the person cover? And we're given miles here. So we're going to set up a proportion. For every 1 step the person takes, they go 2.25 feet, right? 2.25 feet. And we know the total number of steps they took was 3,898. So 3,898 steps. And we want to know, well, how far is that? Right, so we cross multiply if you want. So x equals 8,770.5. So now we can do another proportion if we want. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. I like doing the proportions because that way you don't make any mistakes. Equals how many miles out of 8,770.5 feet? And cross multiply again. You get x equals 1.66, and that is nearest to 1.7, or choice D. Among a group of 20 students, 13 students are members of the math club, 11 students are members of the drama club, 9 students are members of both. How many of the 20 students are not members of either club? So let's set up a Venn diagram to visualize this. So we have 13 math, 11 drama. How many are just drama? Well, to get that, we have to say 13 minus 9. This group is a member of both. So that means we have 4 students that are just drama. Now, what if we want to know the same thing for just math? I'm sorry. That's the math side. So 11 minus 9, right, both, means that 2 are just math club. So 4 just drama, 2 just math, 9 both. So how many are not members of either? Well, we have 20 students total. So 20 students total minus 9, this number here, the number who are both, minus 4 minus 2. And that leaves us with 5. 5 students are not doing math or drama. They're doing something else. So your answer is G. To increase the mean of 7 numbers, we're going to have 7 numbers by 4. How much would the sum of the 7 numbers have to increase? So I'm just going to plug in a number. I'm going to say each number is 10. All right, and if we want to visualize it in a different way, you could write down the number 10 times, and we're going to divide that by 7. So 7 times 10 divided by 7. That's going to equal 10. That's pretty easy to see, right? You can see that. How much would this, we want to increase it by 4. Okay, so we're going to say plus 4. This is now 14. How much would the sum of the 7 numbers have to increase by? So if we have 7 plus 10, this is 70. And we want to know how much we have to increase that by. We're still dividing by the same number, 7 numbers, to get to 14. Well, now we have an algebra question we can solve. So multiply both sides by 7. We have 70x, 70, nope, that's wrong. It's not 70x, it's 70 plus x equals 7 times 14 is 98. We subtract 70 from both sides and we get x equals 28. So it has to increase by 28 to get 14. So D. Which of the following is the equation of the circle in the standard XY coordinate plane? So you need to know what the equation of the circle is, and you can actually find this in your calculator by going to Apps, Conics. Now you still need to know what does each of these represent. So the radius is 5. So the formula is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So the radius is 5. That means it's going to have to be 5 squared, which means it's going to have to be 25. So that means it's going to have to be g, h, or k. Now the h and the k are the center. So we know it's going to be x minus 4. So we have x minus 4. And then the negative 3 becomes y minus negative 3 squared, which is y plus 3. So we have our negative 4 is here, and our plus 3 is here, so your answer has to be G. If you know that equation, it's a super fast, easy question.